Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Inspire 2024. Nothing like a little Prince in the morning to start your day, is my opinion. I'm Lark Park. I'm director of the California Education Learning Lab, and it is so great to see all of you here. We're really excited to host you for the next couple of days. I asked our fearless leader, Jamie Galvin, hey, how many repeat attenders from Inspire 2022 do we have? And so I think north of a third of you were here for Inspire 2022, and which is the last time we put on this convening, and we're so glad to have you back. And then for those of you who are new, we hope that you're going to have a great time, meet fantastic new colleagues, reconnect with old ones, and eat really great food, and listen to and engage in some really energizing conversations about the future of teaching and learning. And so why do we host Inspire? We do it to build community, a community of faculty and others who want to make a difference, who aren't satisfied with the status quo, and who want to break things. Whether it's new ground or boundaries, we want to have you be here to be the pioneers who are going to light the way for others. And that is all of you. So we have some great programming over the next couple of days, and I would be remiss if I did not say at the outset that putting on this event is made possible only through an extensive partnership. Partnership between the state of California that funds the Learning Lab, the Foundation for California Community Colleges that houses Learning Lab, the UC Office of the President, who is an administrative partner to us for this convening, and then hugely important funders like College Futures, Teagle Foundation, James Irvine, Michelson 20 Million Minds, and the California Community Chancellor's Office. Without their support, we could never do this. And then I'd also like to acknowledge the Luskin Conference Center and Court Furniture. They're the ones that make it look pretty and make us feel comfortable. So thanks to all of them, and thanks to all of you for showing up at a time when it is not the easiest thing to do to show up. There are usually 15 different things pulling everybody in 15 different directions. But we really hope you'll take full advantage of the next couple of days to inspire us and be inspired by your colleagues. So, without further ado, I want to introduce our peerless Master of Ceremonies, Christopher Cabaldon, who, among his innumerable talents and hats he wears, and bow ties he wears, has been and still is what I would call the Dean of Higher Education in and for the state of California. He's been California's Interstate Higher Education Commissioner on WICHE forever. He's been a partner at Capital Impact, Senior Fellow, Mayor in Residence at a host of very forward-thinking organizations like Institute for the Future and the Center for Digital Government. He ran a city for 22 years, headed educational advocacy organizations, and held prominent positions within the California community colleges, within the CSU, and has consulted at the highest levels of the University of California. He is constantly breaking new ground, and we hope he will do so today and well into the future, which we may mention at the very end of the convening, so you have to stay till the very end tomorrow. Anyway, please welcome the inimitable Christopher Cabaldon.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to UCLA. Thank you so much, Lark. Thanks to UCLA. Wasn't this an amazing breakfast? What a crazy buffet they have here. We did not have this in my department meetings at Sac State. We didn't have this in the Chancellor's office when I was at the community colleges. We didn't even have it in the legislature when I started working on higher education policy for the first time in 1989 as the director of the Higher Education Committee for the California State Assembly. So I have been around doing this for a long time. Most of you are like young children to me. But so much of what we were talking about then, we're still talking about now. And yet, so much is new. And we're here at an institution that is remarkable. And I think we overlook, as Californians, so often what we have created. What we've created as the people, the voters, the taxpayers, and then their agents and their trustees through members of the faculty and the administration, governing boards, legislators, and others who together over a century and a half have developed one of the world's most admired systems of higher education, but UCLA in particular. I'm a Berkeley grad, so I'm saying this. This is painful to say, but UCLA, in so many ways, represents the pinnacle of California's achievement. We have, as a people, discovered exactly what it takes, with almost 100% certainty to help our residents jump a social class. We know exactly what to do. We do it all the time, actually. Here in the state. UCLA is widely heralded, and many other institutions in California, but we're here as a place where that happens. And we all know that in this room, which is why we work so hard to advance opportunity for all. But there's something special about, and I'll be crass about it, the brand that we have created globally with our system of higher education and with our most premier institutions, which allow them and allow their graduates to jump a social class in one generation by simply one intervention. So as much as affordable housing, food stamps, job training programs, everything else that we do in the public sector, the work of bringing that level of transformative change in the lives of Californians, especially those who've been left behind, has always been our charge and our mission. It's why we're gathered here both to advance that work with so many changes and opportunities and challenges in society, in addition to the really great, what they call smashed eggs. So between them, it's going to set the table for a really fantastic 2 days of Inspire. And I want to say thank you for joining us again. We're here welcoming 200 Inspire attendees. And as Lark said, we cover the gamut. There are folks from philanthropy here, from AI and ed tech organizations, of course from higher education institutions, and from initiatives and from change makers and rule breakers throughout the institutions, from institutions who are out of state, private institutions, and of course all three systems of California's public system of higher education, whose faculty, staff, students, and leaders are filling more than half of the ballroom today. I know this is a challenging time, that all of us are experiencing anxiety over the next couple of weeks. It's hard, but we're here together, and we will find a Halloween costume. We really will. I know it's just 2 weeks away, but they're there. They're there for the taking. If you don't have great ideas, I might suggest Ray Gun from the Olympics, the really awful break dancer, not very hard costume to replicate. So it's hard, and I know it's difficult. We're going to be tempted to doom scroll, looking on our favorite platforms to see what the latest news and polls about what the best costumes are. But this is an opportunity for us to absent ourselves from that for a moment, and to have our other-facing, our better angels, our hopeful selves here for 2 days to really figure out how to chart that future, because we know that whatever happens on Halloween, that it's the work that we're doing today that will both bring that dream to more and more Californians and Americans, but also transform our costumes and our politics. And so thank you for taking the time to be here. Throughout our 2 days, there's going to be 5 panels that are going to be led by experts with a broad range of experience in or even at the margins of higher education. Tomorrow morning, Dr. Sophia Noble, who is the author of Algorithms of Oppression, How Search Engines Reinforce Racism. She's going to interview Rajan Sheth, who's the CEO of Chiron Learning. And I'm fascinated. That's going to be, there will be some restraints in the seats to make sure that it doesn't get too bloody. But this is not going to be, this will be more like a regular academic senate meeting and less like convocation for tomorrow's panel. So this will be exciting. And they'll be on the hot seat. And then tomorrow during lunch, we're going to be joined by the Secretary of Government Operations for the state of California, Amy Tong. She's the Newsom administration's point person on artificial intelligence. She's going to be joining me for a brief interview where she's going to tell us about the administration's priorities and strategy around AI, which will be fascinating also because it's only been now 2 weeks since the governor vetoed the Senate legislation that basically said, look, AI company, if you cause global apocalypse, we're going to fine you. And the governor vetoed that. And so these questions that are being grappled with on campus and in your department and in your initiatives and even in your learning lab projects are also occupying the leaders of the state and of communities and of the nation as well. So that will be an exciting opportunity to get some lens into what is state government and the governor in particular thinking and how might that intersect with the projects that we're doing here. We'll have 4 breakout sessions over the course of the 2 days that are going to showcase 25 Learning Lab funded projects, 3 Teagle Foundation projects, and a project led by faculty at Stanford. All of those sessions are going to highlight innovative approaches to teaching and learning that foster greater student success. So we'll be here in panels talking about the future and about the big picture, about reimagining, and then we'll be in the breakout sessions with people really showing us the way, doing the work, giving us some lessons and some insights, and also some things to invest in as well, I hope. Outside our exhibitor tables, you asked for this after the Inspire from 2 years ago, where we're offering a really welcome alternative to doom scrolling. Instead of sitting there going through and looking for all everything on your phone, swipe, 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 stop outside. We have a wild combination of AI vendors and ed tech, new higher education initiatives, it's not all technology, that are going to have a presence here among our exhibits. They include Timely Grader, Chiron Learning, Nectar, Guided Education, MathGPT, among the AI vendors. Some of our ed tech friends that are here with us are Open Learning Initiative at Carnegie Mellon and LibreText and Adapt. And then some new initiatives to learn about. CalICOR, which is a Berkeley-based initiative to establish California's first intersegmental interactive computing open resource. The California Community College's Chancellor's Office Digital Center for Innovation, Transformation, and Equity, and Learning Labs, Teaching and Learning Collaborative, which we'll talk about in the collective activity later. And speaking of the collective activity, I didn't bring mine up with me. If you weren't here earlier and you have your badge on, the number that is on there means almost nothing. It should just be a digit or two. It's not personally identifiable information. We're not linking it to your Social Security or to your shampoo buying habits. That number has only one purpose, and that is for where we'll sit for the collective activity, for the work that we're doing in that activity. It does not mean you need to sit at that table forever. So we'll be Southwest Airlines the entire time, at least 2024 Southwest Airlines. We'll have just that one time when we're Delta, United, or American. So that's, as you look for the collective activity table, that's your number. But otherwise, you're absolutely free to and encouraged to sit in any place and in as many places as you wish. So we'll also have some lightning talk sessions that you'll hear from some of the exhibitors about as well. But this is for anyone who wants to share their groundbreaking technologies, their ideas, their solutions. And we don't have an unlimited sign-up space, but we hope some of you will sign up to deliver a lightning talk at the reception desk. There's times up there. Just check them out and see if they're available. And then the best lightning talk, as determined by, well, I'm supposed to say his name, but I'm not going to, because then he's going to get bribes and harassed. But one of the Learning Lab advisory board members, who will be revealed later, will be judging this, and it'll be featured in a Learning Lab inaugural profile series about innovators in higher education, and also get this prize, 2 extra terrace reception drink tickets for this evening. Yeah, yes, we have spared no expense. And of course, there's going to be lots of networking and engagement opportunities along the way, like today's AI networking activity, which will be at lunch, hosted by Learning Lab's AI faculty in residence team, and the collective activity that I mentioned already, where we're going to get your ideas for an intersegmental teaching and learning collaborative. Tonight, we're going to host that terrace reception where one person will have 2 extra drinks. We'll try to highlight them this evening so you know who to befriend. And that'll be on the beautiful Centennial Terrace right here on site. Tomorrow there'll be a networking breakfast, plus lots of informal opportunities during breaks through our bingo game. Don't forget your bingo card for the whole event. And the AI timeline activity on the north wall of the ballroom, and throughout our official event app, Whova. Whova is the best way to make the most of this experience. You probably already downloaded it by your own volition and not because we nudged or forced you in any way to use a piece of technology. But if you do want to and you haven't yet, go ahead, download either the web version or the phone app. Scan the QR code that's out everywhere at the conference. You'll have all the event details at your fingertips, the agenda, the logistics, but also each other for connecting to one another and to join some affinity and community groups inside of Inspire 2024. If you really prefer a hard copy of the program, we have a limited amount of printed programs available at the front desk. You'll only be asked to take a photo for our Hall of Shame that we will be posting tomorrow, but you're absolutely welcome to a hard copy as well. So if you stay till the end of the convening, which I know we all will, we're going to have a raffle and closeout reflections. And the prizes for the raffle are... well, one of them is a 2-night stay with dinner here at the Luskin Event Center. Another, travel scholarships for Inspire 2026. Also some gift cards. And then for the big winner, you're going to get 11,780 votes given to you in Georgia. So be sure to stay to the end for that. So that's going to be really, really, really great. Now, I want to give you just another disclaimer. The panels and most of the breakout sessions are being recorded. Learning Lab will publish the recordings and the materials to the website as a resource after the event, unless you say something completely embarrassing and awful, in which case we'll publish it on multiple channels. But in any event, it'll be on the Learning Lab website. So that's the next 2 days. It's going to be fantastic. Many of you were here 2 years ago, and it was terrific. It was energizing. I think it was like we'd been allowed to go out and meet in person for like 6 hours before that started, and it was a transcendental moment. This one's going to be the same, but for a whole different reason. If you weren't here then, don't worry. You don't need to have seen the first one to be here for the sequel.